Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's Metaworld News. This is the news bulletin where we look at social virtual worlds and interfacing technology which pertains to virtual environments in one form or another. These are our headlines for the week ending far too late in the year already, or maybe I should just say 25th of November. Of the year 2018, of course, and I won't be having a chance to say that much longer either. It's
Oh
distressing,
my.
really. It
Yeah.
feels like I only just started. But, well, I know January was a bit ago, but I thought it was February still. What's happening to me? I ask. Right, right. Oh, I guess I'm lost in limbo, or maybe I should say just lost in the hyperverse.
The hyperverse. That's good.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. Right, stop being silly. I've had too much coffee here, you can probably tell. I need you to be awake for this. Right, okay, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/malburns. That's Mal, first name, Burns, second name. But guess what? It's all squashed together as one word, so it's MALBURNS. And we also have an additional Twitter feed at twitter.com/metaworldnews, as in this program, but equally squashed together as one word. In fact, maybe instead of talking about tweeting, we should talk about squashing. Yes.
Very convenient,
Uh,
though.
yes, I'm already using Mastodon, and that requires tooting. What next? Tooting, tweeting,
Oh.
squashing. I don't know what it called. I don't know what you call it when you do the fast book. It hasn't sort of got a
Or
good
the
word, has it?
Instagram. What's that? Gramming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, well, fast book could be faking, I suppose.
Sure, that
That
sounds
would
good.
that would
Faking.
that would be appropriate,
It
wouldn't
really
it?
would. It would. How topical.
Anyway, yes, we'll stick to the sensible metaverse, not anything that the fast book is cooking up for you. I don't think that counts. That's just too out of this world
Hmm.
and evil and nasty and horrible. I didn't say that honestly,
It's
not
fine.
on air. If I was on air, it was accidental.
You
Okay,
you
right.
are
Let's
entitled. You're entitled to say that.
I am entitled, as they say. Yes,
Hmm.
me generation. I am entitled to waste people's time with stupid pictures and posts and stuff. Not what I do, but okay. Let's get serious. Let me go to vrscout.com.
Hmm.
That's the one on the right in the picture if James is showing you. This, I'm sure we actually had this last week, so I won't go into it much. So, VR Diversity Initiative uses VR to create accessible backpacks for people with scoliosis. Yes, indeed,
Mm-hmm.
that's a back thingy. Right, 6 days ago. This is more like it. Nomadic's new approach to location-based VR. I'm going to click on it because it's a case of why not, and you'll have to excuse the white screen. You can blame this on the somewhat slow performance of something called Microsoft Windows. Right, here we are, Nomadic's new approach to location-based VR. This is a digital body, so I'll give you the link in a minute when I flip back. Um, let's see. They're combining the advanced elements of virtuality with gripping storytelling and clever tactile elements to create immersive adventures that can thrill everyone who walks through our doors. Now, guess what? This is an out of home experience. We always did say for a long while that if VR is going to really take off as a consumer thing, it's been very successful in the enterprise in many ways, but not for consumers. Probably because the kit is just too damned expensive, but as an out of home sort of experience, arcades and stuff like that, probably quite a good idea. So, actually, I'm going to pause on that picture. I'm not going to zoom full screen. It's too awkward to do at the moment while I'm live, but that's a rather attractive place to go into, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You even got to walk across a blank to get to it, by the look of it. Come on, come on. Unless it's part of the VR death trap experience or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't believe that's well. That seems the guy's got a backpack on and standing there, getting ready to walk the plank. And uh, if you can see my mouse, you can
Yep.
see exactly where I'm pointing.
Right,
I
right.
have it. Don't even ask. Don't even ask. I'm not going there. Anyway, that's good. Now back to the main screen. You can see a nice big logo for the Electronic Frontier Foundation. There's been a VR privacy summit happening at Stanford University. Well, it did happen. I think it was just one day from what I can see there, November the 8th. This is a post from voicesofvr.com, voicesofvr, all one word.com, which is a podcast. This is their 714th podcast, and it's from the VR Privacy Summit. There have been several, by the way, during the course of the week from the Privacy Summit, but this one is talking with the uh, Electronic Frontier Foundation on Privacy on the Web. And I don't know if any of you can actually see the title. The picture's good, it's their logo, but the post says front rear, right? Um,
Uh, uh,
add another R in there, and we'd have front and rear. Ha ha. Right. Okay. Enough about that. Podcast there, voicesofvr.com. Right, here we are. Now, strictly speaking, No Man's Sky is not really a virtual world. Though arguably it's a game, but it's a very loose game. Um, it always looks very good. It got off to a sort of slightly critical start because thousands and millions of empty worlds with no procedural stuff happening in them. Because I guess there were less explorers than people that land on the places. But apparently. Most of the thousands of planets floating around in No Man's Sky now actually have some kind of induced life form, artificial. Well, I suppose it is AI, procedural rendering anyway. So even if nobody's landed on them yet, there's various virtual mischief going on, ready for those who want to land into, I guess. Um, Very much a fun kind of adventure sort of thing that actually looks very, very good. And I think I haven't tried this, but I think you could consider it a multiplayer experience, so you can communicate with other people on the platform. So it sort of qualifies, it's a bit like EVE Online or World of Warcraft. If you want to use it as a virtual world, you can, as long as you don't mind being eliminated every few seconds by things that come at you in some of these things. Anyway, and of course, No Man's Sky is from Hello Games, who have, I'm pleased to say, abandoned their actual virtual world proper, which was going to be called Metaworld. Cough, cough, splutter, splutter, and it will no longer be. And in fact, I think, there's a lot of been behind the scenes mergers of technology and stuff, etc. Anyway, No Man's Sky has what's called the Visions update, which brings alien archaeology and a lot more variety. And you can read more about that one at engadget.com. That's engadget.com. Right, moving leftwards here. Major player here, AR VR pioneer, Noni de la Pena. I believe I've got that spelt right. I mean, pronounced right, Noni de la Pena. She has been named the Wall Street Journal's Technology Innovator of the Year. I reckon that should have happened about 20 years ago, but nevertheless, she's still around and she's got it this year. So good on that, Nonny. Yes, all I can say. Um, so I don't have the link visible here, so you'll probably have to look at the stream to find that link, or indeed just go to the Wall Street Journal if it's not a paywall place. Right, Daniel Voyager, our good friend, he blogs mostly back over in Second Life, the old Wall Garden Grid. Daniel Voyager. That's DanielVoyager, or one word, Daniel Voyager, WordPress.com. DanielVoyager.wordpress.com. Right. And it's a good read. Keep you informed things, and does cover OpenSim and a few things as well. And in this case, he's covered the Open Simulator Community Conference, which starts, believe it or not, in 2 weeks' time. Um, And no comment. Well, we will be there. In fact, we will not be here. We will be here next week, but we won't be here the week after because our broadcast actually is the same time as we're filming that. So you'll get a fortnight's dosage afterwards instead. Right. Number 715 of Voices of VR.com's podcast. Again, they're back at the Privacy Summit at Stanford. This one is described as Open Web Privacy Lessons for the Immersive Web. The icon, if you can see it, or the picture above that, there is Mozilla's mixed reality icon. And Mozilla, of course, are one of the principal movers in using WebVR for bringing web-based spaces online. Okay. 5 days ago, China introduces AI-powered virtual news anchor. Well,
Mm-hmm.
we have to cover this, really, don't we? It's nothing special when you think of, when was it, the 80s, when they had max headroom, introducing videos. Um, it's the only, I mean, actually, almost every newsroom in the world, I think, of any size already has a virtual news desk, and the anchor is usually green screened against some artificial background. Not all of them. Some, like the BBC, like to show off their newsroom because it's big. they could show, and they could show it off, but and smaller newsrooms like to use virtuality to make it seem bigger than it really is. But this chap, you can't see him particularly well, but the a fairly realistic chap in the picture, small as it is, he is he's a virtual news anchor, and apparently he's powered by AI. Whether that means that he taps into Facebook and actually recites fake news for you, or something like that, as an AI might be expected to do, I don't know. But it's China after all, so
Mm-hmm.
they probably only needs one webhook to the what oh God, I don't know. What's China's variation of the Kremlin? It's
Oh,
a
I don't know.
anyway, yeah,
Yep.
it's China, isn't it? Ballroom level. Right. And oh gosh golly, did that really happen? Sorry, I'm just going to check that happened. No, that was my fault. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, there was one more page to go. Right, here we are. Voices of VR. 716, the Privacy Summit. Medical insights into VR privacy and health benefits from biometric data. There you go. Obviously, well, great benefit, the health benefits of VR and AR and data and all the rest of it. But when you consider it's in the medical sphere, which everybody uses, maybe a bit um, worrying too. Hence the Privacy Summit entry. VR Scout, VR Scout. That's VR and then Scout as in Boy Scout thingies. VRScout.com. This new device could help solve VR motion sickness. I'm not going to open that. It's a new piece of technology. It's not a new headset or anything like that. It's a new arrangement system for the inside of headsets and stuff like that. And a new bit of this, a bit of it, as it were, that is supposed to be able to solve VR motion sickness. Do go to VR Scout to read more about that. GSMA launches initiative to get telecom operators up to speed with AR and VR connectivity. Well, that sounds like a bloody good idea. So I'm sorry, I'm going to find it. Remind myself of what that one is. If that's in the UK, it won't be surprising. Uh, there we are. Right. If it's there we are. Usual high tech. There's very samey sort of graphics you see around these days. Well, anyway. Um, yeah. GMSA is supported by China Mobile Telecom, Unicom, Deutsche Telekom. Okay, this sounds pretty universal. Vodafone are a UK player. Good to see that British Telecom aren't in the mix. They would just mess it up, no doubt, or grab it for themselves. Um, okay, establishing the forum will overcome hurdles and ensure we can scale compare solutions faster. And 5G coming along. Okay, and then various other links that you can go to. Um, Also, some events coming up in Silicon Valley, London, and Amsterdam to explore the future with enterprise technology. Okay, so VR 360. I'll leave that to you to follow. It's where was it? I've lost it. I've lost it again.
Bottom
Yeah,
right. Yep.
virtual reality dash news.net. And yeah, that I guess is all to the good. Arguably, when it comes to the telecoms side of things, they're pretty, in having to catch up with streaming video requirements of the Netflixes and stuff of this world, they're really pretty halfway there to speed requirements for VR and AR. Obviously, getting faster will help a lot because it is a two-way process, but they are halfway there, I think, these days, for better or for worse. It means the good old quiet, slow internet of days gone by that let us all chill out and not worry has gone forever. Now we've got a new internet, and it's called stress factor X. Yes. Anyway, enough of that. Stress, stress. Sorry, I can't handle this. I've got to take a break. I'll be back in 1 second. Stress, stress. Oh, okay, back. Quick de-stress button there. Right.
Yep, yep.
Limina VR Weekender comes to London next month. Right, Limina. Now, you can find out about this at uploadvr.com. And since I'm in London, my ears pricked up, or whatever the expression is, when I saw this.
Hmm.
And indeed, that is a sort of, that certainly looks Londonish, that picture, although it's artificial. Anyway, there's an intriguing new VR festival in town for London VR enthusiasts, or anyone else for that matter, next week. December 1st and 2nd, that's next Saturday, Sunday at the Picture House Central, very central here because it's near Piccadilly Circus. This isn't your usual assortment of super hot VR and Arizona Sunshine demos. It's a VR arts festival that will shine an entirely different light on what the tech is capable of. That said, I noticed they include 3 different playlists, etc., etc. And most of the stuff on their playlist is it's not under the radar stuff. It's stuff we tend to know about already. Available in headsets from Oculus Go through to cardboard to the biggie flashy wired things. For the Wild, exploring nature with films like Longing for Wilderness, Sanctuaries of Silence, immersive journey into Patagonia, and The 500. Future and fantasy, meanwhile, will give you a window into tomorrow with I Saw the Future, Celestial Motion, and Fantasy Sins. And finally, Begin Again takes a look at people starting over with Step to the Line, Sea Prayer, and the astonishing Grenfell Our Home. Grenfell Our Home is a British production about a tower block called Grenfell
Hmm.
Tower. Very near to me here, actually, that caught fire just over a year ago, and they've there's of everything. Anyway, tickets are only £10. That's pretty cheap for given the price of things these days.
Hmm.
So if you're interested, give it a look. And there's a hyperlink at the bottom that takes you to where you can get the tickets. So if you're in London here or within London reach, if that's yes, reach of London, then you might want to do that. Digitalbodies.net. Right, well, VR is good for a bit of everything, really, and scientists and their telescopes are. Let's open this. All well and good, but you're talking light years of distance. There's no time. There's no way you can get real time images for light years or light galaxies away, let alone detailed ones. So why not take the data and literally build things in virtuality? And yeah, scientists have actually managed to build a black hole in virtual reality, and you can approach it in virtuality and see what it does to you, or rather, what it does to everything around you. It just sounds to me like it's probably like one of those vortex films where everything's continually spiraling away into
Hmm.
distance, or taking a hyper jump in Star Wars. But nevertheless, this is based on real facts. So good things come in pairs. In addition to another app called Spheres, Songs of Space Time on Oculus Rift, scientists have now created an astrophysical model of Sagittarius A, or Sagittarius A, I think it probably is, to simulate a black hole in VR. And it takes a creative storytelling approach that focuses on us. Sorry, that's Spheres. In contrast, Sagittarius A is a research project focusing on the black hole at the center of our galaxy. It's actually over 25,000 light years from Earth, so most of our knowledge is deduced from the movement of nearby stars. But this is where virtuality can create a powerful role, letting people experience the abstract data scientists work with. And I guess that picture that you see there is the sort of thing you can sort of imagine a black hole being visualized as, but on its own, it is really nothing special. Oh, actually, there's a video there that gives you a better idea.
Hmm.
Anyway, good, interesting use for VR on the educational front, I guess. And finally, another Voices of VR link, and another one, number 718. This time it's dealing with the PR privacy summit at Stanford yet again.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular one is talking about what it was and everything else. It is highlights with the organisers and the next steps, etc. Carrying on from here. Um, you'll notice that was co-hosted by High Fidelity as well as the Virtual Human Interaction Lab, although there was nothing in the High Fidelity platform itself that would have, you know,
Oh, no events.
yeah,
Okay.
nothing that actually cross-linked, as it were, like the big festival last week or anything. So, yeah, High Fidelity are doing a lot of sponsorship of these more general things, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hit the arrow button. I'm back to the front page. Now that was my personal tweets. I did mention we have another Twitter stream at Metaworld, and these are the highlights from that one. Um, um, and I might as well say, well, 1 week ago, High Fidelity's pick of the day. Beyond is a monumental epic VR masterpiece. Well, indeed it is. This is a report from Ryan Schultz at ryanschultz.com. That's RyanSchultz.com. And the author is, of course, Ryan Schultz. Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
Right, some comparisons to the game abduction and stuff like that, and some confusion at High Fidelity itself. The link from the festival site from last week does not go anywhere, and you can't get to it. But the actual domain itself is still online, and you can get to it not through the portal at the festival, but from High Fidelity's main, sort of go to menu. And it is, yeah, well worth watching. It is called Beyond. That's the only word you need to remember. Just go to and then type in Beyond. Right. I love this one. Magic Leap introduces avatar chat, and it is stupid. What? Yeah, says it all really. That is. I don't quite know where that goes. It's not to here, and I've got a short link. Oh, this is right. This is from Joe Yardley's Second Life. She is a Second Life bowler and runs a sort of vintage Berlin sim and various other things. And she's got a nice little video there too. Okay, so that's where you can find out more about her opinion. And I don't really need to tell you anything more about her opinion, do you? It's all in the headline.
Sure.
Right, 6 days ago, Kokua, this is a viewer for virtual worlds, can be used for Second Life, for example, or Open Simulation, whatever. Um, uh, this is Gone Animesh with version 6. 6.0.0 to be precise. Right, you can find this post at modemworld.me, modemworld.me. Sadly, this happened on Sunday the 18th, which was exactly a week ago, in fact, while we were probably on air. Animesh is something new. I think it's to do with being able to animate meshes. Well, you would think so from the
You think
title,
so?
wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
How robust it is, I'm not quite sure, but it's devised by Linden Lab, and it's in the I think it's in one of the test viewers from Linden Lab, but has gone into rather than the main viewer, but is moving into the main viewer soon, and has already gone ahead into Kakua and I guess Firestorm will have it. The worrying thing here, to be honest, is that a lot of these third-party viewers, as they're called, for virtual, the bog standard virtual worlds, as it were, rather than games, do seem to be, how shall I say, licking the backside of Linden Labs.
Hmm.
In other words, they're sort of introducing things that are very peculiar to the Second Life platform, which is desperately trying to do new things to make it look a bit more up to date. And a lot of these things need enhanced viewers to actually, appreciate the new sort of flashy differences. And the more they're doing this, the more they're departing from the mainstream open similar sort of hippo-derived, code base. In fact, they haven't been very similar for donkey's years, but as time goes by, it means that the majority of these viewers, right, are becoming less and less effective for OpenSim. And we're getting to the point now where many people don't want to update their viewers. They want to stick with an old viewer because they know they can use it to hypergrid around the greater metaverse, even though it may be antique with regards to Linden Labs um, playground. So bear that in mind. But if you do want an updated Kokua viewer with Animesh, you can get it now, and you can read more about it at Modern World ME, which is Nara Pay's blog, of course. Right, that does seem to be it for that department. And there is another department I click on here sometimes, isn't there? I think it's that one. I can't remember which it is. Yeah. Location-based VR arcade hero hangout opens in California next week.
Which feed is this,
Um,
Mel?
It's not one of my feeds. It's one that's actually embedded into Flipboard
Oh, okay.
for virtual reality, which I pop in here now and again, and I will sometimes grab some of this news and post it to feeds, but
Okay.
just because I'm here, really. I like this. Facebook faces crossroads in virtual reality. That could be interesting. That's at a site called The Fool, or rather, Fool, Fool, without the fool.com. Um, Top of Oculus puts Facebook in a VR bind. Interesting. They're also in a bind. Mark Zuckerberg has again refused to come out and answer questions in the UK Parliament. So um, I posted a link on the Fastbook, oddly enough, which is where I put the anti-Fastbook links on Fastbook, of course. Yeah, the government, the UK government, has managed to seize a whole load of data off Facebook because Zuckerberg won't come himself. So I think they detained somebody who was the CEO of something that had, I imagine Facebook are not happy, but so Zuckerberg, right, if he doesn't come over and talk to our politicians, then he deserves what he gets, even if that does mean having the government
Hmm.
seize information, and that's his money. Information. You have to look on my Facebook to find out that post. It's not here. It's in a completely different avenue. Um, right. What else we got? Flip it over. I think just endless pictures of people standing up, holding headsets, or in this case, she's not holding it, but still wearing it. Um, Paper dolls. Gosh golly. Right. Right, these are all links I have not checked out myself. So, what on earth? Oh, this looks fun. Someone explained virtuality to the Queen. This is what happened. I'm sorry, I can't resist this, even though I'm live on. What have they done to the Queen? Oh dear, James, next week, make sure I don't go into this section.
Okay, all right. I've not seen it before, so this is new to me.
You have without realising it,
Ah,
I
okay.
think.
Okay.
Queen's 71st birthday never returned to her. Rather than celebrating at home with Prince Philip, Her Majesty spent the occasion at the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, where she got a lesson in virtuality. I didn't know this. So it's perhaps a little surprised that a 92-year-old monarch appeared a little baffled and frankly somewhat unimpressed when some poor
Hmm.
soul attempted to show her the wonders of virtuality. And yeah, that's the Queen, not the avatar, not an avatar.
Hmm.
That's her Madge in all her regal pink glory. Well, she's smiling, but then again, she tends to do that. And she's not so busy anymore. Prince Charles does most of her
Hmm.
duties now, so she takes it easy. So she can afford to be in virtuality and remain. We are unimpressed. One of her forebears said that about the telephone.
Ah. Hmm.
So think of it in context, if you will. Right, okay, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of that bit anyway. I don't think I've got anything more for our pretty little picture screen. Um, as yet.
Okay.
Actually, I'm just going to, before you do go anywhere, there's another virtuality thing. Um, Oh, foreign school kids barred from the White House. Gosh, sorry, that was not what I thought it was. I vaguely thought that might have been um, to do with the British government ceasing Facebook's info, but never mind. Right, okay. So, James, your thoughts on that epic foray into metaversal news?
Oh my goodness.
Or less than epic, really, but never mind.
Uh, the I have to read more about the Kokua viewer news and see what that is. I'm curious. Do you know, is the Animesh, would that allow mesh avatars to have the our famous moving lips?
The moving lips thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, my eyes lit up when I heard about that. I couldn't actually get a very. Looking it up, I couldn't really kind of get a super good idea. I mean, most of the examples I was reading about of what it could do were more fashionista type things, like,
Mm, mm,
you know,
mm-hmm.
when you had a prim skirt, you could make it flexible,
Right.
flexies, you know. But when mesh came along, nothing moves, so it looks a bit
I
sort
see.
of like somebody spilt far too much starch in the washing. Um, so. I think the idea here is that somehow Flex avatar, Flex avatar, mesh, or particularly mesh clothing could have some semblance of movement or
Okay. And
something. But I
respond
mean,
to the
it may
environment and
work.
wind. Yep.
Yeah, it may
Yep.
work with lips too, I suppose. But I think the problem is that you stick things like this into a viewer, but that's not the end of the story, because some of the things the viewer's trying to do will be actually being happening server side, not viewer side.
Yeah.
So let's say you are able to animate lips of a mesh avatar. Um, if I logged into OpenSim with that viewer, it might not necessarily work because the mechanics that are making it happen depend on what's happening on the server as well as what's happening in the viewer.
Yep.
And the other rather distressing thing about this, I might as well mention it, is that Kokua is one of those viewers I never made heavy use of, but it has always been, if it's a matter of Open Simulator and Hypergrid and stuff like that, my backup secondary viewer is normally Singularity, and I still do use a version. I forget whether it's the most recent one or not, of Firestorm as my main viewer, like I am now. But Kakua, I actually think, talking of OCC conference, I actually think Kakua, I think that's the viewer that has my actual OSCC grid avatar in it.
Hmm.
I've got an avatar just on the OSCC grid, which I don't think I used last year, but I can't quite remember. So it's always been an open sim backup option for me. And this Animesh thing, which is really a kind of tie in with Linden Labs, would suggest to me that, this is yet another open sim viewer that is becoming less and less open sim functional and more Linden Lab
Okay.
functional.
Yep.
And I find that a shame. Kakua was never one of the best, but it did have its redeeming features. And Animesh didn't exist, so it wasn't one of them, if you see what I mean.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, I don't know. We will see. We will see. Um,
Well,
yeah,
maybe we'll hear
it's
more
just.
at the conference.
I wish we would.
Mm-hmm.
I of course do the viewer panel there, but the last couple of years it's been beyond the viewer, and this year it's kind of way beyond the viewer.
Yeah.
um,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be looking. This year's panel will be looking at basically the viewers on the web, which aren't actual virtual world viewers, but we'll be looking at things like Cyber Lounge and Singer Girls Web Worlds and Science Spaces web interface.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be extending extending the reach. But the viewers we're talking about will probably this year are largely viewers that actually launch from on the web, which makes getting to places easy, but it tends to destroy the interactivity of the between the spaces when you actually get to them. For
Yeah.
example, you can't
Yeah.
go to a science space web, web space and teleport from that into Singer Girls Web Worlds, or teleport from there into the real Open Sim. But maybe we'll be looking at possibilities there. But um, yeah, sadly, there are rumors that somebody has a private Open Sim viewer, um, which is fairly advanced, but nothing more. It's there's no credible links to follow.
No,
It is very
nothing more
much.
than
It's very
hearsay.
much.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say reliable hearsay, but nothing else being mentioned, kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know at all. We will see. We will see. But yes, we're saving all that to the conference. We better keep something back, or I might
Yeah.
as well not turn
Right. Very good.
up. Yeah, it's like, I was always tempted to have an in-world review this week and next week, and all the people I had in line to invite were people who are going to be on panels at the conference. So I thought, I'm going to talk about everything before it happens. So yeah, we will wait
Yep.
and see. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm done. So if you've no more thoughts from you,
Nope.
I think we'll do our usual anarchic exit. It is
Indeed.
goodbye from you,
And it's goodbye from you.
which means it's farewell from both of us. Until next week, same time, same place. We'll see you then. Ta ta.